headphones up. This is 857. No. That's Turbo, LG, YKC, and 20, girls. That man went on.
I wish I can change the skin, the color of my skin.
That's not the issue. You missed the issue.
What's the issue?
The issue is we don't have to broadcast.
I'm not broadcasting anything. I don't do anything wrong.
Nobody said you did anything wrong.
I don't do anything wrong. If you ever have any issues, because people call you and tell you things about me that are not
Why are
true.
you broadcasting?
I'm not broadcasting anything.
Taking pictures with minorities. Why?
What's wrong with minorities? What's wrong with black people?
Nothing.
What's wrong with these
It's like
families?
talking to an enemy. There's nothing wrong with minorities. They're fabulous. Fabulous. Because you're an enemy to me.
Why?
Because you don't understand.
I don't understand what.
Nothing.
That racism still is alive?
No, but there's a culture.
What is it?
People feel certain things. Hispanics feel certain things towards blacks. Blacks feel certain things towards other groups. It's been that way historically, and it will always be that way.
But it's not that way in my heart and in my mind.
But maybe you want to adjust to the world.
So why?
Okay, welcome to Joe the Shirt's Off the Cuff. If you're not familiar with it already, that was a little snippet of the recording that was made allegedly of Donald Sterling, owner of the Los Angeles Clippers, and his girlfriend, not girlfriend, V. Stiviano. I gotta tell, for those of you who don't know about the story yet, really, what rock have you been hiding under? But I'll give you a quick recap for you here. Apparently, Donald Sterling, who is a billionaire, owner of the Los Angeles Clippers, was recorded during a conversation with his girlfriend, a woman by the name of V. Stiviano. She claims that she's not his girlfriend, but that he is her sugar daddy. To the extent that he paid somewhere along the line around $2 million for supporting her, buying her an apartment, getting her cars, and paying for living expenses over the last couple of years. And well, according to this recording, assuming it is Don, Don doesn't seem to like black people or minorities in general. And this is not just a recent thing. For those of you out there who are wondering, why have I not heard this before? Well, this is the first time that it's been in reference to bringing black people to his basketball games. Now, from what I understood about the recording here, Donald is telling his girlfriend, or not girlfriend, whatever it is she is supposed to be. I'd like to think that if I dished out $2 million on some chick, I was getting some ass. But according to the recording, he's pissed off with her because she is bringing black guys to his basketball games. Okay, he's the owner of Los Angeles Clippers, and he gets, of course, the best seats in the house if he feels like it. And he gave seats to, for his girlfriend to use, and she will bring her friends with her sometimes. And sometimes some of her friends happen to be minorities, and sometimes those minorities happen to be black. And she likes to take pictures with her and her friends and post them on Instagram, to which he objects vehemently, because he doesn't want her to be promoting, the spectacle of her associating with black people. Now, this is despite the fact that she herself identifies herself as being a mixed-race woman, part Mexican and part, guess what? Black. Yes, that's right. She identifies herself as being half black. Now, if you listen to the recording, and I'll play a little bit more of it as we go along, at one point he even tells her, look, I don't care what you do with them. I don't care if you want to hang out with them. I don't care if you want to sleep with them even, but just don't post it on the goddamn Instagram and show everybody that you're hanging out with these people, So it's the public image that he's worried about, not the of his girlfriend dating, or possibly hanging out with just black people in general. The public image of him, being seen around with his girlfriend while he's been married for the last, 50 fucking years to his wife Rochelle, who, by the way, is suing his girlfriend, by the way. Not girlfriend. I'm not quite sure exactly how that's working out. She is suing her and possibly him for the tune of about $2 million, claiming that Donald spent the $2 million on his girlfriend out of their community assets, and thus he was not allowed to spend that money without her permission, which I would love to see any man, go to his wife. Hey, honey, look, I'm gonna set up my girlfriend with several cars and a big expensive apartment, and make sure that she has the best of everything, and pay for all the living expenses. Is that okay? Sure, boo, no problem. Yeah, okay. Oh my God. And the timing on this could be better. Now, first, let me tell you really quickly here. When I first heard about this story, my initial thought was, oh, please let this be true. I so wanted this to be so true, okay? I really wanted this because for a guy like me, this kind of story just it makes me hard. It really does, I'm smiling. I don't know if you can tell, but the timing could not be worse on several fronts. I mean, okay, first of all, he's having issues with the wife. He's getting sued. His girlfriend's possibly getting sued. They could be headed for a very, very expensive divorce. And of course, he happens to own a basketball team. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with basketball at all, but a lot of minorities play basketball. As a matter of fact, last time I checked, it is the most popular inner city sport in pretty much the country. And it's played, yes, once again, it's played a lot by blacks or African Americans or colored folk, if you want to call them that way, but maybe not to their face. And, I just love this story because, I grew up in New York City and I played basketball all the time with me and my buddies, black, Puerto Ricans, Cambodians, very few white people in my neighborhood. I will say this, but we all played. We all played basketball. We all had a good time. And it was something that we could all do together. And I think it would be difficult for anybody to deny that in this country, especially, the black population has really, taken in the game of basketball in a lot of ways, really, really made it their own. I mean, there's plenty of African Americans in baseball, plenty in football, not so much hockey. But when you think of a sport that really, when we think of a sport and you think black people, you're thinking basketball. Okay, that's not racist. That's a fact. Okay, as far as I can tell, more black people play basketball than baseball or football. Why? Because that's the game that's there for them more often than not. I mean, you grew up in the inner cities like I did. You didn't get a chance to play a lot of baseball. You didn't get a lot of chances to play football. And you sure as shit didn't get a lot of chances to play hockey. But basketball, all you needed was a ball and a hoop. Maybe one other guy to play with. But that was about it. So it's not really a big stretch to see that this became a very black sport, even though it was originally designed as a sport for shorter white people, with a good dribbling and passing abilities and shooting abilities. Well, that went the way of the dodo when they introduced the slam dunk. Any case. All right, so first of all, Donald Sterling owns a basketball team. All right. This comes on the heels of some years ago, about in 2009, I think, where he was facing discrimination charges here in Los Angeles because he owned several rental properties throughout the city, wherein he made it a point to really go out of his way to not rent to blacks because, he hates blacks, not to rent to Mexicans because all they do all day is nothing, and to not rent to single women with children because, well, obviously they're welfare moms. So, So he's a man of the people, as you can tell. And then, excuse me. And then now, the Clippers, who have been the perennial joke as far as Los Angeles basketball for as long as I've been out here, and that's almost a good 18 years. For the longest time, they really were just such a joke here in Los Angeles. And now for them to finally be in the playoffs, I think only for like the third time in the last 6 years, or maybe the fourth time in the last 6 or 8 years, and they have a good team this year. They finished number 3 in the NBA, not number 3 in their division, not number 3 in their conference. They were number 3 team in the league. Okay, with that third best record in the league. Okay, and so this is when he decides to make stupid commentary that gets recorded on. Okay, now, if that wasn't funny enough, and I'm telling you, it is fucking funny. I'm telling you right now, it's as funny fucking gets, okay? This is even funnier. Apparently, he was scheduled for next month to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Los Angeles chapter of the NAACP. The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People was going to give this man a Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm like, wow, damn. No, I honestly, literally could not be happier right now to find out that this is actually happening in my lifetime. You couldn't ask for worse timing. Let's add to this that let's see, the president of operations and coach of the Los Angeles Clippers is Doc Rivers. Okay, yep, he's black. The captain of his team, Chris Paul, is the president of the NBA Players Union. That's right. Yeah, that's him right there. I cannot imagine what it could be like for these guys right now. I mean, could you see that? Could you imagine that, there you are, you've been playing your ass off, you've been killing yourself all year long for the last 3 years, just kicking your butt, Chris Paul and Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, Matt Barnes, and all these great players, they're gelling, they're coming together, big baby, and then they finish in one of the top seeds, and they're in the playoffs, and then they find out that, the owner of the team doesn't want their kind hanging around his girlfriend because they're black. And she's half black. Okay. Can you see how happy I am? It just blew my mind away. And some of the things he said were just incredible here. See, I got a couple of quotes here. Let's see. Don't come to my games. Don't bring black people, and don't come. It's the world. You go to Israel, the blacks are treated like dogs. At which point, I'm sure the entire Jewish community is probably going, hey, don't bring us into this, all right? This is your problem. You're my sugar. Okay? To which Ms. V says, and are the black Jews less than white Jews? To which Sterling responds, quote, 100%, end quote. And she goes, and is that right? To which he responds, it isn't a question. We don't evaluate what's right and wrong. We live in a society. We live in a culture. We have to live within that culture. I don't want to change. End quote. So you want to be a racist old white guy. This has brought quite the shitstorm from, everybody. I mean, absolutely everybody. And we're going to get into that right after this first break. Okay, I'm going to play a little more music. This is brought to you by 857. The first song was Joke's Over. Apparently it is for Donald. And here's Up in Here by 857. I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm off the cuff. Be right back.
La-di-da-di. la-di-da-di, we like to party, party. La-di-da-di-da-di, move your body, body. Get out your seat, no time to parlay. Cause up in this place we came to party. From Long Island, styling, profiling. We keep the ladies smiling, all the fellas keep wildin'. Keep doing what you're doing, come at this rap game with a whole different movement. Exceed your bandwidth, if you don't understand it. We innovative, not just another band with 3 MCs and 1 DJ. We play so you can hear the things that we say. Hit replay with no delay. We running this race our own little relay. Right now, forget about your day. Pull up a partner and dance the night away. You say you wanna party, then we say you gotta party.
We're right.
Right here, up in here. Make room, you better stand clear. 857 got a party up in here. You say you wanna party, then we say you gotta party.
We're right.
Right here, up in here. Make room, you better stand clear. 857 got a party up in here.
Sunrise and open up your eyes. There's a party going on and ain't no surprise. Ain't no telling what I'm gonna do. Sexing your girl, why would I tell you? Never buck shots, only back shots. Rust cut, hush, hush. There's sweat pouring from me forehead. Right before 6, gonna set this party off like a warhead. Jumping and a jiving, popping and a grinding. Serving up high pipes and rocking on the mics. And no time for fights. And all night, man, big like a titan. Haters get the uppercut, you know I don't give a things at the bar, you know who we are.
And Joe's shirt is once again off the cuff. Welcome back, everybody. Of course, we're talking about Donald Sterling and the latest hoopla he's gotten himself into. Like I said, there's been a shitstorm going on here in Los Angeles and in social media, politics, owners, players. Everybody's pissed, at Donald Sterling. Probably right now, nobody more than, say, Donald Sterling. What was particularly good about this recording was at one point he was making a reference to Irvin Magic Johnson. You may have heard of him, and Miss V here taking pictures with him and posting it on Instagram, which she later went on to purge all her Instagram of any pictures of her with black people or pictures of her of black people in general. To make him happy, because according to him, she should be seen as a delicate Latina or white person, not somebody that hangs out with blacks. He said it, not me. And she talks about how much she admires Magic Johnson, and he goes, "That's great. I admire Magic Johnson. I admire Magic Johnson. I know him very well. I just don't want you bringing him to my games." Again, that's a quote. So not only do you not want her to bring black people to sit in your seats at your games with your girlfriend, but you want, I don't know, the most famous black basketball player ever to not be at your games. Magic Johnson is not just an incredibly famous basketball player, he's also very famous. You may remember way back in the 90s when he came out and let the world know that he was HIV positive. Magic Johnson was absolutely instrumental in bringing HIV to the mainstream focus, to the mainstream mind. It took it out of the shadows of, it's just a gay disease or it's God's punishment. It's like, no, straight people can get it too. Even great, straight, cool guys like Magic Johnson can get HIV and maybe one day get AIDS and die. So he really, it's difficult to say, but I'm not saying he made it okay to be HIV positive, but it took away a lot of the stigma. And I seriously doubt that there are many of you out there that don't know somebody with HIV. And these days, it's not like the old days where everybody looks all sickly and fucked up and pale and gaunt and covered in the weird bruises, It's not like Philadelphia anymore, Sure, there are people like that still exist, absolutely. But there are treatments now. People are living very long, healthy lives with their treatments and for the most part, incredibly normal lives. So, it's not the death sentence it used to be. It's not the stigma that it used to be. And so that's another thing that Magic Johnson is, responsible for doing. He's famous on so many levels, and quite a businessman these days. I mean, you may have heard he has his Magic Johnson movie theaters. He also is a part owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and who knows, he may be the soon-time owner of the Los Angeles Clippers. Because, like I said, there are a lot of little reverberations all through the media. And we're talking as far off as, President Barack Obama. Again, Don, you couldn't have picked a worse time to be this stupid. You may have noticed the president. He's got a bit of a tan on him. Oh, my God. I'm so happy. Actually, Donald Sterling is like the Dan Quayle of billionaires. He truly is. And so then it's, well, what has been the response? Well, a lot of people are angry. The fans are very angry. A lot of them showing protest signs at the games. Twitter is blowing up. Facebook is blowing up. Instagram is blowing up. Any type of social media you can think of, it's blowing up. With Donald Sterling. You listen to the radio, you turn on the TV, you can't get away from it. I mean, you go online to watch porn. There's a quick, tidbit about Don Sterling. And now the cocksucking. All right. But yeah, everybody's pissed off. Of course, Magic Johnson's pissed off. I got a couple of quotes from him here. Let's see here. What did he say? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I know I have one here. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. He says here, it bothers me a lot that you want to... no, sorry, that's the wrong one. This is so crazy. He doesn't want African Americans to come to his game. He doesn't want them to be part of anything over there. Yet he wants his team of mostly African Americans to win a championship. You don't want us in your building, but you want us to win a title for you. There are African Americans living in his buildings, African Americans buying his season tickets, African Americans putting money in his pockets, yet he doesn't want them near him. He tells them, don't bother to come. He doesn't want them in his arena. In the most diverse city in the United States, how can somebody like that be running a sports team? Yeah. And just so you know, it's already being spread out there in the rumor mill that Magic Johnson and his consortium of investors worth of roughly $200 billion are looking into buying the Clippers already. It's already out there. Of course, the next question is, what can the NBA truly do to Donald Sterling? People are talking about, taking the team away from him, suspending him, fining him, forcing him to sell the team. Well, it's not the easiest thing in the world. Now, in an announcement that came just about an hour and a half ago, the head of the NBA, Commissioner Silver, I believe, announced that they were going to be fining Donald Sterling $2.5 million, the maximum allowed. This is for conduct that is incongruent with the image of the NBA. See, that's one of those things that people have to watch out for when they're part of a business model of a company. Is that a lot of times there are codes of conduct that you sign off on. You're expected to act in the public eye in a certain way. You're expected not to express hateful, hurtful, ugly things to people. And it's part of the NBA. It's part of most sports teams, organizations. Even within organizations. I mean, you have the LA Clippers. Of course, you're going to have the business model. The rules of conduct. Codes of conduct for how you conduct yourself in and out of your working environment because you're a public figure. But then also, the NBA itself has its own rules to cover the teams and codes of conduct of its players and its staff, and anybody else associated with it. And if they don't conform to that, well, then they stop doing business with them, or they force them out, or they fire them. Now, the problem is you can't fire Donald Sterling because he is an owner of the team. And if you're wondering about that $2.5 million fine, also remember that he's worth roughly $2 billion. So, while nobody, including Donald Sterling, wants to lose $2.5 million, he can afford it. Now, along with that, he's also been slapped with a permanent ban from the Staples Center or any other NBA arena or game. Okay, he's not allowed, according to the ban, from engaging in any policies or businesses within an NBA or Clippers offices. So I want you to imagine that for a second. You own something. You own a business. You own the Clippers. You own your own team, and you're told you're not allowed to interact with your property. Okay, now that's interesting. Now, and then the biggest one that come after that is they are planning on putting together a vote of the owners to vote Sterling to force him to sell the team, which current estimated value of that team is $1 billion. So even if he does sell the team, you know what? He just increased, he just increased his net worth by about 50%. Life's good all around. Oh, damn it, I have to sell. Give me my $1 billion and I'm leaving. But you know what? One thing I've known for a long time is that getting a billionaire to do anything against his will is pretty tough. Now, first and foremost, before they can pass that particular referendum, they would have to get 75% of NBA team owners to vote to get him to force him to sell. Okay? Which you might be thinking, well, that's a pretty big number. That's a lot of people. Maybe they won't vote for it. Or maybe you're thinking, what he did was so reprehensible, so awful, that 100% of the owners, of course, are going to vote to get rid of him, But you can't be sure on that. You really can't, because there's a lot more going on here. Can't have any blacks at the basketball game. I was talking to a buddy of mine about this. And he said, well, maybe he should, instead of owning a basketball team, he should own an NHL team, a hockey team, which I think there's like maybe 3 blacks in the entire league. But my thought is, you know what? He's such an asshole. He'd probably tell his girlfriend, I don't want you bringing Canadians to my games. I don't want any Canadians. You don't have to be seen with Canadians. You're a delicate white flower or Latina flower or whatever mixed mutt bitch you are. You're mine, all right? I don't want you seen with anybody. No blacks and no Canadians. I don't know why he starts to sound like Woody Allen all of a sudden, but whatever. So, yeah, it would be very difficult to get him out of there. I mean, even if they do get the 75%, like I said, man's worth $2 billion, and getting a billionaire to do anything against his will is pretty fucking tough. All right? Even if you have other billionaires backing you up, it's very, very difficult to get a billionaire to do anything he doesn't feel like doing. Oh, God. Also, reverberating throughout the world of entertainment, singers are lining up to let you know that they're not going to sing at your game. Okay, at the Clippers game. No national anthems, no half-game shows, no, God forbid you make it all the way to the championship. No, we're not going to do any championship music for you. We're not going to do any singing. Everybody's just lining up. Everybody's like going, nope, not going to do it, not going to do it, not going to do it. People are talking about how, they're giving their tickets back. They want refunds. Players were talking about boycotting games, and that's a toughie. Because you know what, you may hate the owner, but you love the game, you love the players, and the players love the game, and the players they want to win, not for their owner. Because the truth of the matter is, Shaquille O'Neal said it best in a recent interview that most players have no real idea, anything about the owner. They don't know anything about him. They don't deal with him. They don't talk to him. They don't have brunch with the owners. No, they deal with their coaches. They deal with their trainers. They deal with the other players. But generally speaking, the owner of a team tends to be very, very, very much a hidden figure in a basketball organization, any sports organization. I can think of 3 owners off the top of my head. You had Donald Sterling, you had Mark Cuban, you had Jerry Buss, who died not too long ago. And after that, it's tough to come up with names of of basketball teams, of owners, just like any other sports organization. Most people just don't know. Even people that are really into the sport, a lot of times they just don't know. And on that note, we're going to take another break because then I'm going to turn you a different way, all right? We're not done. Here's more 857 with Nervous. I'm Joe the Shirt, and I'm still off the cuff.
Got you bugging out, stressing. Shut your mouth. Lessons are learned as I'm pressing the verbs. Nothing's left of you herbs. Out of breath on the curb. Cause of death every word I say. And spray like venom. Y'all fade like denim. You say I don't be right, but I seem to be the guy y'all wanna be like. Oh, he's a beginner. Leave you shriveled like them leaves in the winter. Feel the anxiety when you're eyeing me. Sporting shiny outfits that be blinding me. While I'm on stage performing, I ignore cause y'all not important. A portion of this got you coughing and ish. Switch it up, sip the cup cause y'all too scared to guzzle. Put a muzzle on me. 23rd, who you be? Spread the word, wait and see. Hate me, blatantly, shame me, maim me, try and tame me.
Y'all be nervous when you hear all our rhymes. Nervous when you're seeing us shine. Nervous because we're one of a kind. And every time you're still hitting rewind. Nervous is that look on your face. Nervous soon as we step in the place. Nervous and you won't get it.
Nervous is Don Sterling. Welcome back, everybody. Joe the Shirt's off the cuff, and that's what I do. We were talking about Don Sterling and the recent debacle with his racist rant with his girlfriend. And I'm using the term girlfriend loosely, not just because she denies that she was ever his girlfriend, but also because I'm looking at a picture of her here, and she looks like a Filipino tranny hooker to me. Just to let you know, she really does. She does not look. I mean, she looks like a very thin Asian man done up to look like a woman, like a lot of tranny hookers I've seen. I mean, not like I hang out with tranny hookers all day long or anything, but I've seen enough to know that, if you told me, oh yeah, that's not a woman, man, that's a tranny hooker, I'd believe you, okay? I mean, she's got the loveliest Adam's apple. That's all I'm saying here, okay? Okay, now I'm going to take it to the other side of this. The other side of this is, you know me, guys. I'm a big fan of freedom of speech, and the whole, you have the right to say whatever you want. You have the right to believe whatever you want. And of course, there are limits to that, especially within any type of business. There are codes of conduct. There are, certain things you're allowed to do and not do. And you get caught in public doing and saying certain things, you are liable for those things. If Donald Sterling, did a press conference and just went off saying, how much he hates black people and how much they should all die, and Mexicans suck too, and single mothers suck too, and I wouldn't rent them an apartment, and I don't want them at my games. If it were up to me, there'd be nothing but white players and white fans at my games. Well, yeah, then you know what, you're probably going to lose a lot right there. But but we're talking about a conversation that he was having with another individual, and isn't there an expected right to privacy? I mean, at no point did he obviously intend for this to be made public. The fact that it did just fucks him in the ass. But I know for a fact that I have done and said things in private which I would never, ever, ever want anybody to know about. And that includes people of a particular race, sex, ethnicity, religion. Maybe I was drunk. Maybe I was high. Maybe I was just really, really pissed off. And it's not just me, okay? It's you guys too. We've all done and said things we're not proud of and we would not want other people to know about, okay? We've all done it. Black, white, Asian, Latinos, gays, lesbians, everybody's done it. but not everybody has had themselves recorded and then, have it released to the media because you're famous, and that's how, it becomes a big deal. I mean, let's face facts. If Donald Sterling was just some, old white guy that he wasn't the owner of the Clippers, and he just happened to have season tickets, and he couldn't always go, but his girlfriend went sometimes. She brought friends with him. If he told her, "Hey, I don't want you bringing black guys to the game," and you didn't know who he was, you wouldn't give a shit. But because he is Donald Sterling, and he is a very rich, powerful, and famous man in a very, under the microscope kind of world that he lives in, of course, now we're pissed. Now we're outraged, and now that's been made public. Well, now we want to skin him alive. We want to flay him, and that's the correct response. But is it truly fair to him? I mean, she claims, Miss Stiviano, whatever her name is, V. Stiviano, claims that he knew they were being recorded, and I'm like, well, was he drunk? Was he off his meds? Did he take too many meds? Because I'd like to think if I was in my right mind and I was saying some really fucked up off-color shit that could really get me in trouble with my business, with my life, that I would tell people, I'd go, "Hey, are you recording?" And you said, "Well, yes, I am." Well, fuck no, you're not recording shit. That's what I would do. So I do find it a little hard to believe that he knew that he was being recorded. And if he did know, I can't believe that he was in his right mind. Because he did sound a little off. I mean, go on TMZ. I'm having some technical difficulties here. Go on TMZ. Listen to the recording yourself. There's like 2 recordings now. They've got an extended play now where he talks about Jews. And see for yourself. I mean, I'm not excusing the things he says. But what I am saying is that, he does have a right to say them. He does. That's what so much of this country is based on, is your personal human rights as an individual, to say what you feel like saying. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to piss other people off. But that's a big part of this country. It's a big part of it, That's why, you can still have, groups like the Klan, you can still have groups like the Boy Scouts. Yes, I did just compare the Klan to the Boy Scouts. I did that. Yes, I did. You can still have these groups they're allowed to have. They're just not allowed to have, government funding anymore, But, as an individual, you're allowed to say whatever you want. And as an individual, you are allowed to a certain modicum of privacy in your life, an expectation of privacy in your life. I mean, and what would it help if he said he was sorry? Would it help if he said he was drunk? That he thought it was just a gag? That he was just kidding? Just playing? Would that help? If he apologized? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. All I do know is that, the owners of Chick-fil-A, you may remember them, they got all that heat because they were known for donating money to groups that advocated, marriage between men and women only. And that was their religious belief as well. And, of course, if you're gay or lesbian or homosexual, you view these groups as hate groups. And in a lot of ways, I'm sure they could be considered hate groups. But again, it is a personal choice. And if you decided, that you didn't want to go to Chick-fil-A anymore because you think these people support hate groups, then fine, don't go to Chick-fil-A. You decide that you don't want to, give them your business, go fine. You want to go protest them? Yeah, go ahead. But I still think it's they still have the right to believe that. They want to believe that being gay is evil. That's their business. One thing's got nothing to do with the other. You don't have to go to Chick-fil-A. You don't have to go to a Clippers game. Now, I personally would still go to a Clippers game. I would. Why? Because I love the Clippers. I love the team. I love the players. I love the game. I always have. And if you believe out there that all these big companies that you buy food from, electronics from, your TVs, your ovens, your cars, the Lemon Pledge, or or your bathtub detergent, your bar soap. If you believe that all these companies are run by perfectly good, fair people that hate nobody and just want peace and love for everybody, then you are dumber than I think you are. Because there are plenty of companies being run by some evil, hateful motherfuckers out there that make some of the most benign products on the planet. I'm not saying that they're necessarily making. I'm not saying that they're necessarily making diapers, but they could be. I'm not necessarily saying that they help to make your diabetes medication, but they could be. You don't know who's working for who, because it's the business world is, typically speaking, a don't ask, don't tell kind of world. You go to work. It's a good idea to not tell people what your religion is, and it's a very good idea not to ask. It's a good idea not to ask people, what their sexual preference is, and they better not ask you. It's a good idea to not ask somebody if, hey, by any chance do you remember the KKK? And I suggest if you are, you don't answer that question. So that's why there are those kind of rules in place, because it's a don't ask, don't tell kind of world. All right? You go to work. Your personal beliefs are your own. You keep those at home. But really, what happens to you when somebody, records you without your knowledge and then puts that out to the world? Does it make you a bad person? Well, yeah, you probably are a bad person if these are the type of things you believe. But that doesn't mean that you don't have the right to believe them. You may be an ignorant sack of shit, but still, you have the right to believe these things. And Donald Sterling wants to believe that, black people are shit, and he wants to believe that black Jews are treated like dogs, and they should be, and the white Jews are 100% better than black Jews. Hey, what are you going to do? Change his spots? No. If you want to force him out of the NBA now, absolutely go ahead. I think he should be out of the league. I don't think he should be involved in any type of business where so much really depends on people working together, a team. On any given team in the NBA, you're going to have blacks, whites, Asians. You have Middle Easterners playing in the NBA now. You have you have Europeans all over the NBA now. I mean, you've had Africans from Africa playing in the NBA. So it's a diverse group, to say the least. It's something you can say a lot about a lot of sports. None more so, I think, than basketball, because basketball, like I said, by its very nature, lends itself to being played anywhere cheaply by anyone. You play baseball, football, hockey, soccer. You need space and you need equipment. You play basketball, you need a ball and a hoop. And like I said, maybe one other guy if you want to make it competitive. So basketball is a really cheap way for people of all races and creeds and kinds, even sexes, to come together and just do something together for a little while. But that being said, I still don't believe that this is something that should have been made public. I think that this is the work of one vengeful bitch. Do I feel sorry for Donald Sterling? No, but I do feel sorry for anybody out there that's ever been caught doing or saying something, that they would not want be put out there. And I don't like the idea of people trying to shame you into changing who you are. I mean, that's what religion does. I don't like it when people try to shame somebody into changing their beliefs about another race or their beliefs about somebody else's sexuality. Try to shame you and berate you and make you feel guilty over it, because that's exactly what they were trying to do to you. If you happen to be gay, people try to guilt you and berate you, make you feel bad into being straight. If people have always white people for a long time tried to make black people feel as if they were less than human. And it's wrong to force somebody to feel anything that they don't naturally feel. Best you can do is talk to them or ignore them. But you don't have to go out and kill anybody over it. Unless they try to kill you first. Then I say, fuck those motherfuckers. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for me today. I had to get that out of me. No blacks allowed at the basketball games. I love that. He doesn't want blacks at his basketball game. One of the world's most famous black guy at his basketball game. Doesn't want Magic Johnson at a basketball game. Oh my God. Well, I'll keep you up to date on the story as things go along. See what's going on out there. Honestly, I hope it blows up even more because I need the giggles. I truly do. In any case, that is my time for today. Thank you for listening. You've got more from 857. It's called Next Level. I'm Joe the Shirt, and I've been off the cuff.
This 857.
Yeah, I picked rap on purpose.
We take it to the next level with the bass and the treble. All of a sudden, start button got you frontin' in seconds. Pick your weapons or direction of path like I had a half-life or a fight with Mike. Ass Kid Icarus, I get sick with this.
Perfect dark like a total eclipse, and dead meat like this gyro might be. Heat me highly unlikely, so I made my decision while on the front mission to put a stick up